Hey everyone, welcome back to another World of Warships Blitz video. So, I've got a really nice game in Diasen to share with you. Um, I didn't know no one had ever posted a world record submission for this ship on the main Discord server. So I got a real nice game. It's a nice starting point for the world record, and you guys are gonna be able to see it. It's 133k, and I'm going to get that game up for you here in a few minutes, but I kind of want to talk about things. The single realm matchmaking is the only reason I was able to do this game. Full player match wasn't possible under the old system of playing only on your server, unless you got really lucky to catch an all player match. So that's the one thing I love about the single realm matchmaking. Guys, I've seen the downside of it. And I've seen all of you complain about it. Depending on what server you were on, you blame the other two servers for the horrible player base. Newsflash, guys. Every server had, we'll just call them sketchy players. Every server has them. Seeing that I've played on two servers myself, I'd be shocked if the numbers weren't very close percentage wise of above average players down to the sketchy players. I'd be shocked if that wasn't the case. And, guys, we can see, I might not know what server they're off of. I might not recognize the name or the fleet name, but I can tell when I get some of these games in, some of these players are not from the NA server that I'm seeing. So like I said, each one of you guys got nothing to complain about here. Every server's got the less than proficient player base. I know some people have talked about trying to fix matchmaking for that. I don't see I can see some potential fixes, but I know they're not going to make everybody happy. We can't go to a skill-based matchmaker that only pairs teams up with win rates, because the higher win rate players will be sitting in queues for 5-10 minutes, like we've seen in ranked battles and the Easter tournament. So that's a non-starter. Could they try to balance out the win rates per team? Sure. Say we're queuing in with 14 players, 6 of them having an above average win rate of 60%. They divvy up 3 of them per team, and the other 4 players are, we'll just put skill unknown. You still could have a Game of Thrones there with your team and still be upset about how the matchmaking treated you. So, like I said, I don't see that necessarily as a great fix either. It's just not going to make everybody happy. Guys, just let's be patient with this. Let's give it a couple more weeks. And we still have to figure out playstyles. I know some of you had called me out for being a cautious NA battleship player in the past, and that was true. I was fairly cautious. I've seen some battleship play from the other two servers that makes me feel like super aggressive. I had to slow myself down even more to kind of let the game flow a little bit and see how things were going before I committed somewhere. It is what it is, guys. But yeah, let's just be a little patient with it, because we've only been doing this 2 weeks now, and I'd like to get it. Let me phrase this right. Hopefully, Wargaming is able to look at the numbers behind the matches, and maybe we can get an educated guess on, or not an educated guess, but a more educated idea of how the matchmaker's working with win rates, player skills, before we go really screaming about how we want to make adjustments on it. Because like I said, guys, I don't see how what we would think to be simple fixes are going to make everybody happy. That's all I can say. With that, let's talk about the ship real quick. We know Diasen is one of those tier 9 Japanese battleships that have the World War One kind of dreadnought style to them, with all the casemates as secondaries and torpedoes. And each one had a unique skill of like a secondary overload, deep water torpedoes, or in this case, a spotter plane. For me, right here, it's all about the guns. You will get torpedo shots in, but your detection is so hideous in these ships that you're never going to be able to stealth torp and really make good use of that elite torpedo operator. Excuse me. Camouflage wise, the historical here, it's a nice camo. Hit points, firing range for the mains and the secondaries, and that added torpedo range. That's a pretty nice. It's pretty nice, and obviously we get auto secondaries on the ship. Don't mistake it for a brawler, though. We're pretty weak as all things considered. Nice speed, turns like a brick. It's nice as I don't want to call it a flanker, but it really can set up nicely in a flanking position, or if need be, a kiting position. Make use of those torpedoes if someone's chasing after you. It's definitely a skill cannon of a ship, and it with difficulty level of high. Nice thing we have on this, we got 410 millimeter guns. We only have 8 of them. Under 19-second reload, over 14-kilometer range. With the spotter plane, get you a really super nice range with this ship. 1900 AP alpha. It's one of those kind of weird calibers, though, for the guns, though, where you get the 250% citadel rate. Decent turret traverse speed, 5.35 degrees a second. Not bad at all. Again, we get secondaries and auto secondaries. Casemate secondaries aren't the greatest in the world. You see that we got a 7.5 second reload, just over 7-kilometer range. I mean, okay. Alpha for the HE. The auto secondaries, 9-second reload time on these things. Yeah, you got 5 per side, but 9-second reload for them. The nice torpedoes. You got 16 torpedoes, 8 on each side. Reload time, pretty standard. I think 67 seconds isn't bad for this. Nice alpha on the torpedo damage. A nice range. Any other, when you look at it, 8.74 kilometer range on a battleship for your torpedoes. Really nice range. Problem is the absolutely horrendous surface detection this ship has. I've got a stealth build on this, and look at that surface detection. It's still 10.5 kilometers. Decent AA, not bad AA. You're going to be in trouble if you run into a tier 10 aircraft carrier. I'm running dispersion, acceleration, and like I said, I'm building into surface detection here because its surface detection is outrageous. Same thing with supplies. Coal, crew rations, diesel. Yamamoto isn't exactly the best commander for this ship, but the APCS and Citadel Strike is what I was looking for here. And the 6 cents. Like you see, guys, I've been running the premium consumables. I've pulled a bunch out of some crates, and I picked up a lot out of the fleet shop. Any chance I get, I pick them up out of here. So, and especially I've been picking at fleet records, so I've been trying to get every bit of hit points I can get out of my ships for these games. With that, I'm already 9 minutes into this. Let's get the game up for you guys. Like I said, 133,000. Like I said, the first world record submission for this ship. Believe it or not, I think it can go higher. I really do. I think a person with the right matchmaking and a little luck on their side with some main gun salvos, I think you could probably get up to 150K on this easy. So if you got it, give it a shot, guys. And let me get the game up for you. All right, we've got Alsace, GK, Kremlin, Schlieffen, Cerberus, Shima, Felix, Holland, Shima, and Sejong, CC, 2 Vermonts on our side. Okay. So I think I'm going to go towards A cap. Narrow up to Torps. Looks like Vermont's going to go to C cap. Colombo. Colombo looks like he's going to head towards A cap with us. Alright, so it's just a question of who shows up on our side. Felix or Shima. But if I come up behind the island, I should be able to support Shimakaze. And with Sejong coming over there, well, I mean, I'm not exactly like Colombo, but... Oh, shush. Alright. What do we got? Cerberus, and that... It was AP coming out of the smoke cloud, and I can lob the island, so it's Felix. Some solid hits on the Cerberus to start. As soon as I can clear the island here, I can get some more shots on him. Alright, I mean, I roughly know where he's at. So we're just going to hold... I think... yeah. Ooh, nice hit. Alright, I'm going to dunk some Torps out in case Felix stops. I can't get him in secondary range, so... We're just going to ease right here for right now. Where are you shooting from? Alright, Felix is done. Or not quite. Should be done. Alright, Cerberus, where are you? Alright. Now, let's see if I can find him. Smoke's almost done. I don't want to waste the smoke. He's not shooting right now. Okay, there he is. Perfect. And the question is, I don't know if that's going to hit or not because the way he's turning. Nah, we missed. Straight up miss. Okay. That's not a big deal. He's just kiting away right now. So let's just focus on Schlieffen. Alright. Both their DDs are down. We lost to Vermont. I'm not stressing Schlieffen shooting at me right now. I'm really want to get my guns turned and maybe get this guy out if we can do it. I mean, they're both turning and basically trying to kite from us. Alright, probably going to miss those. He's dodging around a little bit. Again, not terrible, but I can sit and lob the island here on Schlieffen. And then I got to see who's pushing into B cap. Looks like all their other battleships are pushing in. All right, Kremlin's half health. Looks like GK was full health. Dump some Torps for Cerberus. I'm not sure which way he's going. Schlieffen's down. Let's see if we can get some more shots into Cerberus here. At least push him out. Keep him out of here. Nice. All sasses. Yeah, I mean, I gotta deal with those damn battleships. At least help deal with them. We're gonna... Our 1BB, our Colombo and C-Cap's gonna get absolutely just hammered. Alright, pop the spotter plane. Let's get Alsace out first. Torpedoes aren't quite back yet. I'm going to have to really watch what the hell I'm doing here. All right. Zhejiang at least got Kremlin flooded for us. All right. Let's get Kremlin out first, maybe. Here comes Shima. All right. Kremlin's down with the flood. Severus, we don't even have to worry about him right now. All right. Shima should be taking out Alsace. There's our Holland torpedoes. Let's just get the shot out on them. All right. Alsace is done. All right. Narrow spreader torps. Let's drop them through the gap there, and let's work on this Grosser Kurfürst, who's in. I mean, I feel bad for him. I've been in that position, sir. All right, we got our next heal coming up, but I need to watch where I'm at with my health. All right, he just took Holland torps. Here comes my torps. All right, we got a flood. All right, he's perma-flooded. He's done. Oh, Kraken Slayer. Damn, that dude in the GK was putting in some real work. Alright. Severus is smoking up yet again. Damage con that fire. Let's get... He's got to be getting radared. Oh, that's disappointing. I was expecting a few more full pens out of that. Yeah, we'll lob it, but it's not going to work. Ah, 133, Jesus. $133 in Diasen. That's my best game in that ship so far. Kraken Slayer. Cool medal. I don't get it very often. Alright, 92 main gun hits, 4 torps, 2 citadels, 1 flood. Nice damage out of the main guns. That's a hell of a nice game. And that GK, man, he did some work, but... He did some work, that's for damn sure. Alright, well, great game there.